Hello everybody. Today I'd like to talk about monitoring as code. Everybody knows about infrastructure as code. So on top of that, you can do wonderful things like monitoring as code. Obviously, monitoring as code will be specific to your monitoring system. Here I'm gonna use Zabbix as my favorite monitoring solution. I'm going to deploy virtual machines into Akamai, former Linode. This is my favorite cloud provider. And I'm gonna use Ansible as provisioning tool, basically the only tool. I'm gonna do everything using Ansible. What is monitoring as code? Let's define first. So everybody knows this Zabbix web UI. You can click here and there, add hosts, assign templates, start monitoring. It's a lot of manual work. What we want to do is move to console. Basically, you create a bunch of files and describe what you want to monitor and how, then run Ansible playbook. And everything is transferred to your Zabbix. Again, the first step, you define in Ansible inventory what you want to monitor, like list of servers, applications running on those servers, and how you want to monitor, what metrics you want to collect, basically define templates. Then you run Ansible playbook and all configuration defined in step 1 is magically transferred into your Zabbix. Then you basically enjoy your monitoring click-free configuration. For any demo, you need an application. I thought to myself, so Zabbix is perfect application. It's a 3-tier application. It has a database, a server, and a web UI. So I'm going to monitor servers this application is running on, then applications like Postgres database, Nginx, Apache. I'm using Apache here, and all this done by Zabbix. So then I thought, what the heck? Anyway, I'm going to deploy virtual machine, then I'm going to deploy applications like Zabbix itself. Then I'm going to use actually monitoring as code, the purpose of this demo. So I decided to make 3 demos, 3 videos. So in part 1, we basically deploy virtual machines. The end result will be like this. In Akamai, we should have 3 virtual machines. This is Ubuntu 22, nothing configured, just operating system. In part 2, we go to configuration as code. We deploy applications and configure them. So our end goal is deploy Apache and Zabbix Web UI on top of Zabbix Web 01 VM, Zabbix server code on Zabbix Server 01 VM, and Postgres and Zabbix database on top of Postgres. We are deploying this to Zabbix DB01 virtual machine. And finally, in part 3, this is actually monitoring as code. We configure servers and applications in Zabbix. So you have all 3 hosts added to Zabbix with properly assigned templates. So you have all items, metrics to monitor, and all triggers with alarms. Okay, let's start. So part 1, infrastructure as code. We'll be deploying our VMs into Linode. I'm using the word Linode, but it's actually Akamai. Akamai purchased Linode a while ago, but I've been with Linode for like a decade or more, and I'm just used to Linode, so I'll be saying Linode all the time. So as you can see, no virtual machines running. I'm logged in as demo 42. About my environment, I'll be actually executing everything in virtual machine on my MacBook. To switch between screens, I'm using just screen tool, favorite screen tool, Let's name our session, I like my initials, I don't know, EY1. Python installation, Ansible installation, all this stuff. It's not the purpose of this presentation, so you should know all this stuff. I'll just source my environment. I believe 214. Activate. Yes. Python version 3.9. Ansible should be installed. And as long as I talk to Linode, I need to install Linode collection. And linode.cloud collection is also installed. There is actually a very nice article on Linode documentation site, how to use Linode Ansible collection to deploy a Linode. It describes only deployment operation, but you can use all other operations. You can see a link here to this article, and all possible resources, all possible things you can do with this collection described here. Feel free to jump and research. Again, here we go. Let's create a folder for our project. I don't know, monitoring is code. Here we'll be creating playbooks, inventories, and roles. So right now, let's start with inventory, what we want to deploy. So make dir invent and like, I don't know, demo. I'm sorry, you have to do dash p. Now you see I'm in window 0. I'll be executing playbooks here. Let's jump to new window. We'll manage our, you see, window 1. Here we'll be managing our inventory. So cd inventories, oops, our project mock inventories demo, no files. Let's create a list of our hosts. We'll have 3 groups, obviously. Let's call them databases, and it'll be one host, Zabbix db01. The second group will be application servers, and we'll have one host, Zabbix server 01, and the third group will be front ends, Zabbix web 01 will belong to this group. Save it. Okay, what do we need to create next? Playbook, actually, that will be creating these virtual machines. Let's create new window for playbooks. Cd demo Mac, our project, and create. Let's name it. I don't know. Create. But later we'll be updating as well using the same playbook. So, or date. This is YAML. So again, I'm not going to talk about a lot about Ansible, because you should know Ansible if you're watching this presentation. First, I like comments. Hosts all. So we will be executing these tasks on task on all hosts. Gather facts. we don't need it for deployment to Linode tasks. And here, let's actually execute a role. And we'll call this role infra deploy, infrastructure deploy, infra create maybe. Save it. So let's jump into new window, Windows 3. Well, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 2, 3. And here will be again what we have here already. Inventories and our playbook. Let's create a roles folder. And we named our role infra create. As you know, the role must have at least one task called main, and we are going to create it. So what do we do in this role? We actually execute Linode module. This will be executed on each node, on each inventory node. So create this server. This is Linode Cloud Instance module. We have to provide API token. We'll talk about a bit later. So it'll be our variable, global variable for all nodes, right? All servers. I like naming my variables different from any other public roles because I have to know that is my variable, not some roles variable. So I prefix all my variables with x underscore. We'll define this variable later. So also I have to provide label. This is actually the name of my virtual machine. And there is special Ansible variable called inventory hostname that provides actually the name from inventory for current node. And let's use tags. Just we don't create something unexpectedly. So all our VMs will have some tag. We'll define again it globally later. Type. Every instance, every virtual machine has a type. Like how many CPUs, memory, and so on. We'll define this type per VM later. For now, it's just, let's say, X Linode type. And region we must provide. This is all from Linode documentation. I'm not trying to imagine something. We'll define region as well. Image. I like Ubuntu 22. And Linode kindly provide us with this image. Ubuntu 2204. Now we have to connect somehow to this VM to perform configuration actions. I'll be using authorization keys, SSH keys. Again, it will be variable. And what do you want to do with this VM state? We want to bring it up, present. Now, for this module, we have to delegate to localhost. So this task will be executed on this Ansible controlling host. This is Ansible stuff. And we have to have the output to take information further. And let's put output into a variable named out. After we deploy all this stuff, we need to actually, out will have a lot of information about instance, about virtual machine that was deployed. We only need a label and actual IP address to work with this virtual machine further. So let's do a little trick and create special and redefine special Ansible variable named host. This variable is used to connect to virtual machine later to perform all other operations. And we'll be taking only IPv4. Every machine can have several IPs. So we are taking only first one, the single one in our case. And basically that's it. Now we have to define all our variables. So the first one, API token. So obviously it's a global variable for all VMs. This token is used to talk to Linode cloud provider and to authenticate, basically authorize our actions. Where do we put these global variables? There is special group in Ansible called all. So let's put it there. And I want to encrypt my token, obviously. Before encrypting, decrypting anything, we have to define vault password. So let's save this password in the files to avoid entering it every time we run Ansible playbook. So let's create a file. Let's say vault pass. And I have this password. Save quit. And let's tell Ansible to use this file. We can do it in ansible.cfg file. Defaults section. Variable name is vault password file. And as long as we are here, let's enter a couple more variables to tell Ansible to use root user to connect to our VMs. Remote user. And let's not check SSH keys every time we connect to VM, because it's a demo. We'll be destroying, creating VMs, and it doesn't make any sense to check keys every time and make corrections. Never do this in production. That's all about security. That's it. Save quit. To encrypt our token, I use Ansible Vault. Encrypt string. Yeah, I think it's like this. So what string? My token. Let me copy paste my token. And what variable name I want to put? I want to put it into X API token. And I'm going to put it into our all.yml applicable to all hosts, all groups. Inventories, actually T, A, stories, demo, group wars, all YML. Nice. Let's go to our inventory, split to see this group. Yeah, it was created perfectly well. Let's just follow YAML standard. Now, the next variable is inventory host name. This is provided by Ansible and corresponds to the machine name the play is running for. Linode tag. We have to create something here. Let's tag it as, I don't know, demo monitoring as code. Next variable is Linode type. Here it's a bit tricky because we want to use different machines, I mean different in terms of CPU and memory for database, Zabbix server and front ends. So let's create different variable files for each group. So split group vars databases. Name of the file has to correspond to a name of the group. So databases, YML. X Linode type will be all Linode types are described and defined in Linode documentation, or you can make an API call and get all the information available for a particular type and all the types available on Linode. Here I'm going to use, it's a demo after all, for app servers the same way, group vars app servers YML. Actually, let's follow YAML standard. Save, and front ends. Just copy paste. Well, not paste, but the I trick. Much less powerful. 1, not -2. So we defined Linode type for every group. Good. Now let's go Linode region. Apparently it should be global for all machines. So we put it in group vars all.yml. And we are going to deploy in Toronto, Canada, Canada Central. What else? SSH key. Again, it's global. We are going to use this key to connect to our VMs. Of course, it will be different for you. I'm going to copy paste all this stuff. Here's my SSH key. That's it. Now we should be able to try to run our playbook. Let's try. Ansible playbook. We use inventory demo, create or update playbook. Let's try to list hosts first. Yeah, we see the play will be running on 3 hosts we defined in our inventory. Let's try to run it. It happens. It never works with the first time. Oh, let's go to our Linode and see what's going on. You see, these 3 servers are being provisioned. The problem is, after playbook finishes and all the nodes will be booted up, but they're still running, doesn't mean the node is accepts SSH connections. So we need to wait while the node is actually fully loaded and all the services are started and it accepts SSH connections. So we need to add one more thing to our playbook. On playbook level, we need to make sure we can SSH into those VMs. After these VMs are considered ready and we can proceed with installation and configuration of all our applications. So execute post deployment tasks. Again, hosts all gather facts still false since we cannot connect over SSH tasks. Wait for, I don't know, 2 minutes. This is actually a special model in Ansible called wait for connection. So it will be trying to connect to these VMs every 2 minutes, not every 2 minutes, for 2 minutes. And if for some reason VM doesn't come up within 2 minutes, it will just fail. And after that, we actually can run setup. To get all the facts from these VMs. So it means we can connect over SSH and execute fact gathering operation. And let's make sure, just for fun, that we are actually collecting something. Let's show Ansible distribution. So it will show operating system of each VM. Save it. Here, let's destroy everything. And repeat our operation. Did we save everything? Yes. Oh, of course, hosts. Typo. Again, our nodes should be coming up. As you can see, we use different Linode types. This is just 2 GB of RAM, 1 CPU. These are 4 GB of RAM and 2 CPUs. You can see here 2 CPU cores, 4 GB of RAMs, 1 CPU core, 2 GB RAMs. Just as we defined in our inventory for each group. This is standard 1 front ends, and for Zabbix server applications and applications group and databases group, we use standard 2. Okay, let's see what's going on here. You see they're created, and now we are waiting for 2 minutes for every VM to become available over SSH. They are running, but they're not still available. They're still booting up, in fact. Oh God. Just forgot to run SSH add to add my SSH key to SSH agent to automatically connect to those VMs. So database is up, front end is up. Here we go. Took a while. Nice. Play recap. So Ansible tells us that 3 VMs were deployed. Okay, changed. In Linode console, we see the same. So the first part is done. Let's take care about automatically removing all these virtual machines. So you play something with them, and now we have to destroy them. We are going to create new playbook. Let's call it destroy infra. Actually, let's edit, just copy, split, destroy infra YML. We execute again on all hosts. Gather facts. We don't need it. And tasks. Again, only one task for now. And built in include task, include role. Name of the role, let it be infra destroy. Let's go to roles window and create a folder for this role. Infra destroy tasks, of course. Okay, and let's create main YML file. Name of the task, it's obvious, destroy server. Again, it's Linode cloud instance. Bunch of, oops, typo. Linode cloud instance. API token will be the same. Label It's a name of our server we are destroying. State, in this case, will be absent. And of course, again, delegate to localhost. Nice, let's try it. Destroy. Did we save playbook? Yes, we did. Infra destroy, not found. What did we create? Infra destroy. Oh, rows, not row. One more time. Okay. It tells us that they are destroyed. Yes, they are gone. So we destroyed all the nodes. Now the question is, if we go to our inventory, let's create them again. And it finishes with 3 servers deployed. From now on, I'll be cutting video between playbook start and playbook finish just to save you time. There is no point in staring at my screen while playbook is being executed. So we have 3 VMs and we are adding one more. Actually already added. Let's rerun our playbook. You see these 3 already created. DB01, Server 01, Web 01. Web 02 doesn't exist. Let's refresh. 02 is being provisioned. So those Ansible didn't touch these VMs because nothing has changed in these VMs. The same image, the same specifications, the same name. But we added one more VM, so Ansible is provisioning only this VM. And playbook finishes. We see one VM was deployed, one additional VM was deployed. But what if we don't want this VM anymore, or any other VM? We delete it from our inventory, right? Let's rerun our playbook. Okay, Ansible sees we have only 3 VMs right now in our inventory, but it has no idea that this VM is running in Linode, so it won't delete it. That's the problem. So we need to fix that because we want to rerun our playbook, and playbook has to bring our infrastructure according to what's defined in our inventory. So let's do it here in our playbook. We don't need destroy infra. Let's close it. So create all instances, and after that I want to delete all instances that are not in my inventory. So first of all, okay, let's name it somehow. Delete all instances that are not present in inventory. God, I cannot type. Again, hosts all. What do you want to do here? Some facts gathering, I guess. Variable gathering, I would say. Gather facts. We don't need it here. First of all, let's define some variables. Let's say current servers. We want to see what servers are currently running in my cloud infrastructure. So that will be, yeah, delegate to localhost. Run once, because we are running this only once for all three hosts. We don't need it. We don't need to run it 3 times to find out what instances are running in our cloud. We'll execute block of tasks. First, we need to get all instances currently running from Linode. Get all currently running instances servers. Linode cloud instance list. There is special module for that in Linode cloud collection. Our API token, of course. Filters. We need to filter because we don't want to delete something that we didn't deploy. So this is where our tag is coming handy. And we only care about our tag. We defined here. And of course, we need to save this result somewhere. Now, again, this out variable will collect a lot of information about instances. The only thing we need is label from each instance. So let's create a list consisting of only labels of running instances. We do it very easily, like loop over all our instances. This case is plural. And for every instance, we execute basically we have to add to this list. What do we want to add? We want to add each instance label. This is purely Ansible construction, so nothing to comment here. So in this variable, by this time, we should have all instances, all server names currently running in Linode. All of these. Now we need to create a list to delete. So what's not in our inventory? Again, we use setFact. I'm lazy to type. And here, what do you name it? Let's put it to delete. And we basically, again, use internal Ansible operation, filter, difference. We compare two lists, current servers and there is special Ansible variable called Ansible play hosts all. It contains all the hosts that are currently in play in our inventory. So this should do the trick. And after that, we just let's include a role called role Ansible cleanup. Ansible, because we'll add more tasks to that. I don't want to use Linode modules right here. It just will won't look nice in this playbook. Playbook is calling for a role, so we'll build in include role. Let's call it cleanup. Let's go to roles folder and create a folder for this role. Oh, sorry. And here for now we'll just put operation. Okay, what would that be? Again, cloud instance, I guess. Delete Linode cloud instance. Let's copy API token. Actually, let's copy everything to avoid typing. A label will be, we will actually define that on playbook level, and label will be looping over all elements of the list we just created on playbook level. Remember here, our final result is X to delete. This is list of servers to be deleted. So we are deleting every host in this list. Okay, let's try that. Did we save playbook? Yes, we did. Again, we are running the same playbook, exactly the same playbook. But in Linode, in the cloud, we have one server that we don't have in our inventory. Our purpose is to delete it. Unsupported parameter 4. Okay, we mistyped something here. Get Linode cloud instance list API token filter values. Typo. I cannot type. Filter. Filters. It should be filters. And we're running our playbook. Let's take a look. Refresh. It's gone. So in our inventory, we now have only one Web01, no Web02, and Ansible did exactly as it is in our inventory. That's it. Let's clean up, destroy our infrastructure, since we don't want to pay extra money. And basically, this is it on IC level, infrastructure as code. We have our inventory that describes exactly how we see our infrastructure. I mean, what VMs with what parameters we want to deploy in what groups. We have a main playbook to create all these instances, to clean up instances that are not in our inventory, and just to execute post-deployment tasks. This is preparation for our next step, to connect to all the VMs and install applications and configure them. And this playbook uses roles. So far we have 3 roles: to create virtual machines, to destroy unconditionally virtual machines, and this one little role, for now it's little, it's just deletes extra instances that are not in our inventory any longer. That's it for this part. You are more than welcome to watch the next one, part 2, where I will show how to install all the applications. By application, we mean here Zabbix server. And then part 3, actually monitoring as code, how to provision all these applications and servers into Zabbix server. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.